The Vorketh War Arena did not allow weakness. It magnified it. Tiered stone seating carved into black volcanic rock rose in a massive circle around the combat floor. The air shimmered with heat from subterranean vents. Alien banners hung from iron pylons, each marking a species that had survived the trials of dominance. At the center of the arena stood a single human. He looked unimpressive. No armor plating fused to skin. No claws. No visible fangs. Just a lean frame. Dark hair pulled back loosely, simple combat trousers, sleeveless shirt exposing muscle that was defined but not exaggerated. Compared to the others awaiting trial, he looked small. The crowd noticed. Laughter rippled across the stone tiers. "Is that the human?" A Korthari spectator scoffed. "They send this," another muttered. "Where is his war form?" "He is the war form," someone joked. The human rolled his shoulders once and looked around calmly. He didn't react to the laughter. That unsettled a few in the lower tiers. Above them, in the apex ring, something massive shifted. The apex predator of Vorketh had not been part of the scheduled trials. It never was. It belonged to the arena. A creature born in volcanic caverns, raised in bloodsport, undefeated in 23 dominance cycles. The Vorax, 4 meters tall at the shoulder, muscle layered beneath scaled hide, 6-limbed stance, with 2 primary forelimbs built like battering rams. Jaw strength capable of crushing alloy restraints. It did not respond to trainers. It did not respond to commands. It responded to dominance. And today, it had been restless. The arena master stepped forward onto the platform overlooking the floor. "Contestant designation, Terran representative," he announced. "Trial category, endurance and recognition." Recognition. The word mattered. The trial was simple. Survive the arena's challengers long enough to be acknowledged as a species worthy of standing. The first challenger stepped forward. A Velkarn brute, 300 kilograms of dense muscle, gravity-adapted, plated forearms. He sneered down at the human. "You look breakable." The human smiled faintly. "Most things are." The Velkarn roared and charged. The arena floor trembled. The human didn't. He waited. At the last second, he stepped aside. One precise pivot. The Velkarn's shoulder clipped air. Momentum carried him forward. The human placed a hand against the brute's spine and redirected him just slightly. The Velkarn stumbled. Laughter. But this time it wasn't at the human. The Velkarn spun, enraged. He swung wide. The human ducked. A fist slammed into the stone pillar behind him, cracking it. The human stepped inside the Velkarn's guard and drove an elbow into a joint seam just beneath the armored plate. A sharp crack. The Velkarn dropped to one knee. Silence spread across the lower tiers. The human stepped back immediately. He didn't press the advantage. The Velkarn growled, testing his arm. Functional. Painful. He stared at the human. "You targeted the hinge." "Yeah. You studied us." The human shrugged slightly. "I pay attention." The Velkarn stood slowly. Then, unexpectedly, he stepped back and raised one fist to his chest. Acknowledgement. Murmurs rippled outward. The human nodded once. "Next," he said calmly. The arena master frowned slightly. This wasn't supposed to escalate so cleanly. 2 more challengers entered. A twin pair from the Cerati species, live, blade-armed, coordinated. They circled. The human rotated with them. Breathing steady. No wasted motion. They attacked simultaneously. He didn't retreat. He moved forward. Inside the arc of their strikes. A shoulder check to break alignment. A heel pivot to destabilize the second. One of the Cerati slashed downward. The human caught the forearm mid-swing. The crowd gasped. He twisted. Used their own momentum. The Cerati crashed into his twin. Both tumbled. The human stepped back again. Hands open. Not aggressive. Not taunting. Just present. The laughter had stopped entirely now. The arena master's gaze drifted upward. The Vorax had risen. Its massive head lifted above the apex ring railing. Golden predatory eyes locked onto the human below. It had been watching. The human felt it. He looked up. Not with fear. Not with defiance. Just awareness. The arena master stiffened. This was not scheduled, he muttered. But the Vorax did not follow schedules. It followed instinct. The predator vaulted over the apex ring. The impact shook the arena. Stone cracked under its weight. Gasps erupted from the tiers. The challengers retreated instantly. No one wanted to be between the Vorax and anything it chose. The arena master shouted for containment. Too late. The Vorax stalked forward, each step heavy, deliberate. It towered over the human, 4 times his mass, teeth longer than his forearm. Heat radiated from its scaled hide. The human didn't move. The crowd leaned forward. Now they expected blood. The Vorax lowered its head slightly, nostrils flaring. It inhaled, scenting. The human exhaled slowly. The predator circled him once. The human turned with it, maintaining eye contact, but not staring challengingly. A balance. The Vorax's tail lashed once. The crowd tensed. This was the moment. The human spoke quietly. Easy. No one else heard it. The Vorax did. Its massive head tilted. The arena master froze. The predator stepped closer. Close enough that its breath rolled hot across the human's face. Close enough that a single bite would end him. The human lifted one hand slowly. The crowd erupted in shock. He's insane. He will die. The Vorax did not strike. The human's hand stopped inches from its snout. Then gently, deliberately, he placed his palm against its scaled face. The arena went silent. The predator's muscles tensed. The human did not flinch. You're not angry, he murmured. The Vorax's eyes narrowed. It inhaled again, scenting deeper. Sweat, iron, adrenaline. But not fear, not prey, not submission. The human's posture shifted subtly. Grounded, balanced, present, not dominant, not subordinate. Something else. The Vorax's massive forelimb lifted. The crowd gasped again. If it struck, the human would be crushed instantly. The limb lowered slowly. Instead of striking, it pressed against the ground. And the Vorax did something it had never done in 23 dominant cycles. It bowed its head. Low, deliberate. The arena did not react at first. They didn't understand what they were seeing. The human withdrew his hand slowly. He didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He simply stood there. The arena master whispered hoarsely. It acknowledges him. The Vorax exhaled heavily and stepped to the human's side. Not behind. Not in front. Beside. The laughter that had filled the arena earlier now felt very far away. And for the first time, the crowd wasn't looking at the tiny human. They were looking at what had chosen him. For 3 full seconds, no one in the arena moved. The Vorax's head remained lowered. Its forelimbs pressed against the volcanic stone. The human stood beside it, hand lowered now, breathing steady. The arena master's voice trembled. Recognition granted. The words echoed across the tiers. Recognition was not symbolic. It was binding. On Vorkef, when the apex bowed, it meant one thing. This one stands. Not prey, not rival. Equal. Murmurs rippled outward like a shockwave. The Velkarn brute who had challenged the human stared in disbelief. It never bows, he muttered. No, replied a Serity observer quietly. It judges. The Vorax lifted its head slowly and turned its golden gaze toward the tiers. A low rumble rolled from its chest. Not aggression. Warning. The sound vibrated through the arena stones. It was not claiming territory. It was claiming association. The human glanced at it sideways. Easy, he murmured again. The predator's tail stilled. The arena master descended from the platform cautiously. You have altered the trial, he said to the human. Didn't mean to. The human replied calmly. Why did it bow? The human considered that. He smelled it. Smelled what? Home. Confusion flickered across alien faces. The human looked around the arena, at the stone, the heat rising from volcanic vents, the ash settling lightly in the air. High heat. Unstable ground. Predators everywhere, he said softly. Feels familiar. A ripple of understanding spread slowly. Earth. A deathworld. Storms. Quakes. Predator hierarchies. The Vorax stepped closer again, lowering its head not in submission this time, but alignment. The human placed his hand briefly against its scaled cheek once more. No tension. No force. Just contact. The arena master swallowed. The Vorax does not respond to dominance displays. I didn't try to dominate it. You did not show fear either. The human shrugged lightly. Why would I? It wasn't hunting. The arena master's eyes narrowed. How can you be certain? The human met his gaze evenly. Because it was evaluating. A few in the crowd shifted uncomfortably. The human continued quietly. Predators don't waste energy on prey they already know is prey. The Velkarn brute felt that statement settle in his chest. The human had not moved like prey. He had moved like something accustomed to surviving among larger threats. The Vorax exhaled once more and then, astonishingly, lowered itself to a half-rest beside the human. Not fully prone, but grounded, relaxed. Trust. Gasps rippled again. The arena master raised his staff. Trial concluded. No one argued. No one laughed. The human turned slowly toward the exit gate. The Vorax rose immediately and followed. Not leading. Not blocking. Matching pace. You cannot remove it from the arena, the arena master said sharply. The Vorax stopped. Its golden eyes flicked between the human and the master. The human placed a hand lightly against its shoulder. It's okay, he said. The predator hesitated, then stepped back. It did not challenge the master. It did not resist. But it did not break eye contact with the human either. Something had shifted in the hierarchy. The human stepped through the gate. The Vorax returned to the center of the arena. But this time, when it turned to face the tears, it did not roar. It did not posture. It scanned. And anyone watching carefully understood. It had chosen. Later, in the upper council chamber overlooking the arena master addressed the gathered species delegates. This was not part of the exhibition. A Cerati diplomat leaned forward. What does the bow signify in your records? The master's voice was quiet. In our oldest texts, it signifies recognition of shared origin. Shared origin? The Velkarn representative asked. Yes. The master turned toward the volcanic horizon beyond the chamber window. The Vorax descends from creatures that survived our planet's most violent era. Firestorms. Seismic collapse. Predator saturation. He paused. Earth shares similar markers. Understanding dawned. It had not bowed to size. It had not bowed to strength. It had bowed to familiarity. To something forged in the same kind of crucible. In the corridors below, the human paused before leaving the complex. He glanced back once. The Vorax stood at the arena center, watching him from afar. Their eyes met one final time. The predator dipped its head slightly. Not as low as before, but enough. The human gave a small nod in return. No words. No ceremony. Just acknowledgement. Behind him, the whispers began spreading across the station. They had laughed at the tiny human, until the apex predator decided he wasn't small. And in arenas across the sector, the story would spread with only one detail that truly mattered. The deadliest creature on Vorkath had bowed, and it had not done so lightly.